Hello, my name is Blake Wilson, and today I will be presenting to you about what has changed and what has remained constant in mechanical engineering over the past century. This is a very broad topic to speak on because mechanical engineering is such a diverse field. Therefore, I will focus my attention specifically on the different types of work a mechanical engineer can get involved in, and the different problem-solving approaches taken by a mechanical engineer to complete that work. Throughout my presentation, I will cover two main topics. For my first topic, I will contrast the amount of work a mechanical engineer can do now to the amount of work a mechanical engineer could do 1 century ago. For my second topic, I will compare the problem-solving approaches taken by a current mechanical engineer to the problem-solving approaches taken by a mechanical engineer 100 years ago. After elaborating on these two main topics, I will briefly summarize and then conclude my presentation. Now I will contrast the amount of work which a mechanical engineer can do now as compared to 100 years ago. Simply put, a mechanical engineer can work on many more different projects now than in the past. A mechanical engineer would work in a very limited number of jobs 100 years ago. In the past, it would be very common for a mechanical engineer to be involved in the design or fabrication of some type of machinery, such as trains or other transportation equipment. It would also be very commonplace for a mechanical engineer to work in the field of construction engineering. Not only can a current mechanical engineer work on the projects that they would have done 100 years ago, they can also work on nearly any project which they are interested in. Current mechanical engineers are capable of working on a very diverse number of projects now. An excellent example of this diversification is the current exponential growth of biomedical engineering. 100 years ago, it would be very strange to find a mechanical engineer working in a hospital or rehabilitative center. However, this is a very quickly growing area of interest for mechanical engineers. Now it is not uncommon for a mechanical engineer to be interested in the dynamic and structural properties of the human body, whereas this would be unheard of and unusual 100 years ago. Clearly, a mechanical engineer is capable of working on many more projects now than 100 years ago. Now I will compare the approaches taken to solve a problem by a current mechanical engineer to the approaches taken to solve a problem by a mechanical engineer 100 years ago. Sure, the problems have changed throughout the century. However, a mechanical engineer's approach to solve these problems has remained constant. Whether designing a steam locomotive or some type of biomedical apparatus, a mechanical engineer still follows the same basic approach to find a solution to these problems. A mechanical engineer will still collect the appropriate data and make the correct observations to ensure that their project is completed successfully. A mechanical engineer applies the principles of mathematics and physics to formulate a solution to their problem, the same as they have done throughout the past century. A mechanical engineer works diligently and with integrity, the same as they have done in the past. And a mechanical engineer still holds paramount the health and safety of the public, no matter how different their projects are from those done throughout the past century. It is clear to see that although the problems have changed, the engineering approach to finding a solution to these problems has remained constant throughout the century. In conclusion, my name is Blake Wilson, and I have talked to you about what has changed and what has remained constant over the past century in mechanical engineering. First, I explained in contrast the difference between the amount of work which a current mechanical engineer can do to the amount of work which a mechanical engineer could do 100 years ago. Then I explained in detail how the engineering approach to finding a problem's solution has remained unchanged throughout the century, even though the problems which an engineer faces have changed. Thank you for your time and for viewing my presentation.